Arthur Piccolo.
Commissioners, I think you realize there are times when the symbolic decisions you make actually outlive the far more practical decisions you have to make. Port Authority has a very significant vested interest in the Oculus. On behalf of the citizens of New York and New Jersey, that this spectacular building, which will define Lower Manhattan, New York City, and public transportation in the 21st century, have a name that will honor and elevate its stature even more. Societies name great public buildings for important national heroes. So should you with the Oculus. Horrendous tragedy of September 11, 2001 should not result in symbolism at the World Trade Center that only defines September 11th in the minds and in our culture as reflecting evil. There is another September 11th in American history, September 11th, 1789, here in Lower Manhattan, that is even far more significant defining moment in American history. It is because of September 11th, 1789, in many ways that the United States of America existed as a prosperous nation on September 11th, 212 years later, to survive and recover from September 11th, 2001. America's potential was established September 11th, 1789. On September 11th, 1789, in Lower Manhattan, the greatest New Yorker who has ever lived, arrived years earlier as an impoverished orphan immigrant, became the first Secretary of the United States Treasury, and the savior of our very young nation with his brilliant financial plan to fund our nation based on nothing but its potential. And America prospered as a result to become the greatest nation in human history. The entire life of Alexander Hamilton is an ode to American greatness and to the American immigrant experience. Alexander Hamilton, who lies buried only blocks from here, Trinity Churchyard, in direct sight of the World Trade Center today, and was buried under the debris of September 11, 2001, is a defining American image for the 21st century, as is the Oculus. The Oculus deserves, demands an official name for the ages. I urge you to use your authority to formally name this structure the Alexander Hamilton Transit Hub. Thank you.
Thank you. Arthur Piccolo.
Commissioners, I was glad to learn that last month was the first meeting I ever attended. I was glad to learn that you don't have to fight your way into every meeting and you can even find a chair. I came last month to talk about a ceremonial but an important issue, that the most notable and impressive structure at the New World Trade Center, the Oculus, deserves a purposeful name and also to honor a great American. I made the case, and hopefully I've been making the case since then in communications with each of you, that name, an individual that singularly is appropriate in this case, would be Alexander Hamilton. This is the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, of course, 6 commissioners from New York, 6 from New Jersey. Very timely article in Sunday's Asbury Park Press. There was a banner story, Hamilton's ties to New Jersey run deep. Hamilton's record in New Jersey is impressive, as it is in New York. During the early stages of the Revolutionary War, the young officer Alexander Hamilton was heroic in battle in New Jersey. While in New Jersey, he became the most important aide-de-camp to George Washington. And as of course we all know, his demise took place in New Jersey. But as importantly, Paterson, New Jersey exists because of Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton created Paterson, New Jersey, which did not exist, in order to prove the brilliant economic concepts that he believed the nation should be built on could work. And he created something called the Society for Establishing Useful Manufacturers. In a notable study about those early years, it's called SUM in short. Through SUM, Alexander Hamilton attempted to create and unite a weak and fledgling United States by strengthening the nation politically and economically. The society was Hamilton's first attempt to bind the nation together through the interdependence of economic affairs, attempting to give the nations its first true common interest that would help all the people, regardless of region or class, and he did that in Paterson, New Jersey. Let me sum up by making the most important point of all. in favor of Alexander Hamilton, who is physically buried at the site of the World Trade Center. Had it not been, I can't say this often enough, had it not been for September 11, 1789, we would not be here today. On that day, Alexander Hamilton was nominated by President Washington, approved by the Senate, and sworn in as the first Secretary of the Treasury. As brilliant as all the other founding fathers were, they did not have a clue how to fund this young government. The Articles of Confederation had failed, the Constitution would have failed, and we would be South America today, a bunch of little countries, colonists. Alexander Hamilton understood, as no one in human history had, that you could fund a new nation based on nothing but the promise of that country. And the bonds that he created to do that were not only sold well within the United States, but worldwide. We exist here today because of Alexander Hamilton, and I think it would be most appropriate that we have the Alexander Hamilton Transit Hub at the World Trade Center. I think you will all make yourselves proud and all of us proud by making that decision.
Thank you.